Hello, hello, and welcome to another Arknight's Shadow stream. Joining me in the Demonastery Dojo this evening is my friend and teammate Alex Becker. Uh, Alex recently uh, placed 27th at US Nats, crushing it in draft, playing Dromai and Classic Constructed. And he is going to help me out tonight, and we're going to put Vynnset through some more put her through the paces on some of the meta decks you'd expect to see. I keep seeing a lot of people in various discords and social media circles saying they feel that the Lexi match is very poor, and other people struggling with the Dromai matchup as well. And my experience up to this point has been a fair bit different. So I want to get a couple sets of games into each of those two decks, and we will, uh, see how we fare, and hopefully show show the world that Vynnset can actually hang with some of these top tier decks. Um, all right. Well, the deck for tonight it's a little different, but still just a similar iteration on what I've been running the past few weeks and what I ran at US Nats. Um, we've got slightly different colored pummels. We've got a 2-2 split of Revel and Art of War. We're back on a copy of Oblivion for the Icelander matchup. Um, and that's about it. That's really notable. Uh, and on Alex's side of things, he's going to be using Michael Hamilton's Lexi list from U.S. Nationals and his own Dromai list that he ran at Nats. Um, is there anything particularly spicy in your Dromai deck that other people would be surprised to see, Alex?
Teammates are surprised these skittering sands.
Fair, yeah.
And
Uh,
there are changes I would make to this list after playing it through a bunch of constructed games at Nats, but that'll be for later.
gotcha, gotcha. All right. Well, let me kick off this first game, and I will send you an invite. I'm going to be running our default. Uh, well, I'm on the roll, so I'll go first because I always want to go first. But we can just. That's actually something I'm interested in your opinion on. Thinking through how the games play out. If it actually makes sense for in this matchup for Lexi to want to go first, just to deny it from Vynnset. I'm not completely sure which way I think makes the most sense, but also I'm sideboarding for for Dromai and not Lexi. Cool. So for Lexi, we bring in the suite of pummels. We got to go first, which makes me a lot more keen to bring in the pair of Revel and Runebloods. Um, and then because it is a damage race, I think we'll bring in these Deathly Delights. Um, and I think that should do it. Well, doesn't get a whole lot better than this. Um, let's banish here. And so I think you're gonna load anyways. So I think we pass with an action point and see what happens.
Passing with an action point is always scary. we're Lexi, so we're greedy.
Blue Death Touch. I did not know that was in the Hamilton list.
I didn't know it either.
Hmm.
At Nationals, I was playing against Lexi. They got to go second. I like made some ash and then passed with an action point, holding a CNC, hoping. And then they loaded, and then I said, "Okay, CNC." And then they just took the damage, lost the arsenal, and then loaded again.
Vynnset pays 1 life for an arsenal. That Lexi paid 3 life for an arsenal.
Yeah.
Ooh, pitching reds is a very good sign from our seat.
Another reason I didn't want to pitch that death touch last turn.
The inevitable quad red to follow.
Yeah, I wanted to hold the blue, but the trouble is if you do have CNC and or any other arsenal disruption that Vynnset has access to, um, and it's a 2 block, which means I can't block 6 because I would have had to pitch an arrow and load an arrow, so then I'd only have 5 block left in my hand.
Yeah, which is important and very smart. But I had a widespread destruction in my opener, and I'm like, maybe if he gets greedy, we just lob this out. But so start of this turn, we're gonna have to banish, or rather, we get to banish. And I think the real question is, do I value the widespread destruction or the red deathly whale more? And given that you're so we've got the heat seeker coming in for 5 with go again, the most follow up it could be from that point is just the hamstring shot for another 5. And
I think it's probably something along the lines of if you're gonna let Heatseeker hit, you go for the arsenal disruption, and if you're gonna block Heatseeker, then you go for the Deathly Whale.
yeah, I think that makes sense. I think I'm also well, so the hamstring shot here also represents an annoying facet because uh, I think I have to let the heat seeker hit because for the turn that I'm going to try and do, the hamstring shot messes up my resource count. We'll be 1 short of doing everything we want to do. Uh, so because of that, we're going to let this heat seeker hit and see what happens. Hey, look, a quad red. Shocked, bewildered.
Would have been a lot better if there was a blue.
Yeah. Um, I still, I wonder, like passing the setup across multiple turns is still incredibly valuable to the point where I wonder if I just go for the damage and make sure that I maintain setup, right? Like you're getting a blind arsenal. You're not necessarily hitting something that you know is going to be really valuable. Um, that's probably that's probably just too greedy though. Uh, so we will give you 5 for your 5. Avoid the tax. Well, you know,
Was that about valuable?
yeah, we have found the goods. Uh, okay, so we'll banish our widespread destruction that theoretically Alex didn't know about, but also he didn't know about the rain razors, so it doesn't really matter. Um, so we're going to pay 1 life. We'll blue envelop, hit our rune chant threshold, and we will deathly wail. Very nicely, Talishar now gives you a heads up for that first rune chant not being preventable, I believe. Um, very nice quality of life change there.
Yeah, big red letters.
Notably, it is. Yeah, Ray, you're absolutely right. That hamstring shot, because it was face up, I had to let the heat seeker hit because my whole turn is just messed up if I'm hamstrung. Uh, well, you see, Ray, I am still going to use the widespread to take out the Rain Razor. That's the secret. I've always got action points. I will pay no life. Envelop comes in. Break the chain, get our other chance. Widespread for another 12 total damage, and we're going to eat this Rain Razors.
I was playing Prism, so I'd always hold priority. I don't need priority in between every rune chant. Thanks.
So we pass, eat the Rain Razors. And with this hand, we see the other side of the coin that I was referring to earlier. Uh, if we had played a second Deathly Wail instead of the Widespread Destruction, we would have been able to carry Rune Chant setup across to this turn. But because we didn't, we're gonna have to uh, Quill Hand this turn, which I do not love at all. Infecting Shot. Hmm. Infecting Shot is just damage. So I'm a little more inclined to let this hit and see what the next one is. Because I also like the idea of keeping a third card here so we arsenal so that Crown of Providence is online.
Going between Heat Seeker and Hamstring Shot, but Heat Seeker is not as good with like all the arsenal disruption that Vynnset can have, and Hamstring Shot is especially good. Obviously, I don't know that Kevin has a turn that he's gonna need to Quill Hand, but I think I would get Hamstring Shot either way, just because it can mess up math with
Now,
banishing stuff for free.
yeah. Now my real question here is, do I get, again? It's Red Deathly Whale versus Widespread Destruction. Um, but so I know it's Hamstring Shot. I know I'm losing a card, so I know I will be hamstrung on my turn. Um, I think the move is Deathly Wail this time because I'm not playing whatever attack it is this turn, and having the ripcord of making sure I have a way to generate more rune chains in the future is very valuable. So we'll go Deathly Wail into Arsenal, and we will ditch this Deathly Wail. Upgrade. Now I have a red one instead of a yellow one. You fool. And now the interesting follow-up is uh, I could. I think this is probably a premature. Oh, and actually, because I have a frailty, the red Deathly Wail in Arsenal is only going to be as good as the yellow that's in my hand. So we will stop entertaining that notion. Um, but I guess more importantly, the Deathly Wail that's in my arsenal is not subject to me needing to rune gate it. So if I ah,
It's
this is
still
tough
subject to
because it's
costing one more.
right, which I do
Cost
have the
four.
blue, but the rest of this hand looks a little less impressive. Um, this is an interesting spot. So I hate giving up creepers, but I've already gotten, a massive turn out of it. So I could give you a 3 block, 2 more bits of equipment. No, but that still requires Quill Hand. Um, maybe that's just the move. Maybe this is the Crown of Providence spot. I cycle this Deathly Whale back into my deck, and this is a weird inflection point in this game. We'll go here and there. And honestly, I can't think of something I'd rather have in Arsenal more than this Deathly Whale at the moment. I mean, I guess a Pummel or another Mob Skies or something, but the card I could cycle it into could be substantially worse than a red Deathly Whale. So I think we're just going to take our 5 block, decline the sync. Um, and another added benefit of not blocking with creepers is So when I know I'm not going to be able to activate Vynnset's ability to ensure that Creepers sticks around, there is, potentially like almost defensive value or offensive defensive value in having Alex incentivized to potentially block out these rune chants uh, to kill creepers now. But, you know, unless he's on a very blue hand, which is already a good thing for us, the value proposition of, using potentially your only blue to stop some rune chants doesn't feel great. Especially when this Deathly Whale probably just needs to be blocked due to the Mob Skies on hit. It's also really important that when we crowned there, I've had other games where I crowned earlier in the game than I would have liked, and then end up with a you know just a much worse blue attack action in the arsenal. And at least now that we can't cycle it out, at least our uh, arsenal attack is one of our better ones. All right, so we're forcing some defense this turn.
My hand isn't fantastic, and being that Kevin just used Quill Hand and being able to blow up creepers. Did you want to just lose a life to
Yeah,
gain a rune check?
yep.
Okay.
Attacking with this just gives me a rune chain.
Yep.
Uh, Obviously not from the flail hitting because a 0 power attack cannot actually hit, but when I break the chain, uh, I will get a rune chant from my Deathly Whale, which is real important, especially now that we are down a Quill Hand. Tragically, our Creepers is gone, but we're facing down a turn now with very, very limited amounts of offense out of Lexi. Yeah, we take those. Alright, so we have our 2 rune chants. Go puppetry. We will not pay because we have follow up. Deathly Delight. Carrying one of our favorite on hit effects, Shadow Puppetry. Oldie but a goodie. Notably in this spot, even though we know the Shadow Puppetry is going to connect and we could potentially banish, because Quillhand is down and we're not going to be carrying any rune chant setup across the turn, we're almost certainly not actually going to banish, even if we have a good hit on top. Um, I suppose there are exceptions, but especially since we have a Deathly Whale in Arsenal, if we can clear a 2-cost gate and save it for later and dig us closer to cards that let us Deathly Whale into a second gate, that's really good. Um,
Are you gonna announce this trigger or not?
uh,
Too soon?
excuse
Too
me.
soon?
I have pummeled you, my opponent, and I would like you to discard a card from your
Oh
hand,
man.
and
What
then I
a
will shadow puppetry.
nice.
uh, so it's not a hit, but it also isn't a gate, and it isn't a blue, and it isn't a go again. So
Why is
I'm
it in your deck then?
well, it's a red envelop in darkness, which is really strong, but I'm wondering if I pass it over here because when I follow up Deathly Delight with Flail of Agony, it is inevitably going to eat Hornet Sting because Alex knows how valuable that first rune chant is for my deck. Um, then again, though, that's probably no. I will not banish that. That envelop on top means I can get a 2 gate out next turn, um, assuming it's in the hand. Hey, look, a Hornet Sting. What's on the top of your deck? I know what's on the top of my deck. Endless
Endless
Arrow.
arrow.
Ugh. Wait, so you're telling me I didn't even have to hurt myself? Because you would have hurt me anyways? Um, okay. Voila. When we break the chain, we get our Deathly Delight health, and we'll pass it back over. Horrendously punished for not banishing the Envelop in Darkness off the top of my deck. Actual disaster. Okay, well,
Yeah, this is gonna be a really good turn if you didn't make me discard a card.
I believe you, and also I'm looking at my current hand and I don't feel bad. Uh, we'll just break you off with a little preview of the remix.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's not a good hand.
it is not. It is blueless and attackless. Not even a yellow. Oof. God, am I really just taking 14 here and doing nothing in return? No, I'm flailing. That's what I'm doing in return. Ouch. But no on hits, so no setup for the next go around. I will flail. We'll see how badly you want that fourth card. Uh, yeah, proof. That's not that anybody really doubted it, but that is very much proof of Vynnset not being for the faint of heart. Because sometimes that shit just happens. Okay, we get a card for our flail. Now maybe a hand with blues? A hand with blues. Is this even legal? I feel like I'm cheating. Gosh. These two hands would have been legendary if you just shuffled my current hand and my last hand. It would have been incredible. Turns out. Alright, so we got Remorseless with Go again. And at most one more arrow. My gut says this is another Codex, but it could also just be any of the 0 for 4s. So I think think I want to banish this card on my turn. We can throw out that. We can't just take it all, as much as I wish we could. This is an interesting moment where, like, if I had a tunic resource available to me for next turn, my turn would be looking remarkably better. Um, just too much damage. That one hand just really arrested our momentum. If I take 5, go to 7, and then you can get back the same remorseless, which is gross, but if it is a codex, you're probably just getting back a hamstring shot because that is somehow more annoying. Okay. I think it's a codex. We're going to take this hit. It is not a codex. Endless arrow. Okay. An endless arrow for 5, you say?
Unban bullseye bracers.
God. That would be problematic right now.
Well, if they want Lexi to LL, that's the fastest way to do it.
Yeah. Turns out she doesn't even need the help. She's just going to do it anyways. This being 5 versus 4 is also huge. I can block it out, but blocking it out means I'm not playing Roomlet Incantation on my turn.
Pretty good card.
Or even arsenaling it, which is a different problem. I think I need to trust that the deck, my deck is capable of drawing great hands. So we're going to make the disciplined block here, not let the endless arrow go back to hand. And on our turn, we're going to see if Alex is willing to give me 3 cards for me to not carry over a rune chant. Oh my gosh. Okay, new interaction. Hadn't occurred to me before. I let a remorseless hit. I am getting a rune chant from this Deathly Whale no matter what. I've lost life this turn. Ha! Man, this deck is the coolest.
Quite funny.
Wow. Using remorseless to my benefit. Who'd have thought?
You're only gonna be at
Dr. Doak, you're
5.
right. It's it's the funniest part is that I wasn't even thinking about it, and this turn was still fine without it. And even with thinking about it, this turn is still just great. I will be at 5. That is undeniable.
I still have Snapdragons up. think we do that.
Interesting. Okay. No more New Horizon. We'll get our 2 rune chance. And actually, the fact that Alex is willing to take damage there, and we got the Remorseless trigger on ourselves to get a second chant, means that even if we have to use our entire hand defensively, we're still throwing a Phantom Wraith back. Winter's Bite. So you're gonna have to pitch. To load. Yep, okay. This could be a problem, but also not one we were wholly unprepared for. You are also very due to draw a 3 of a kind for this game. So the thing to note with this hand, because obviously we have to banish at the start of our turn, we don't want to strand an extra Blood Debt card. So we're either, no, we're almost certainly, we're either blocking with 1 card or all 3. There is no in between. Okay. No more reloads. Bolt and shot for 4. Um, Alright, well, we have to block this out because getting a reload is utterly disastrous. So we need to hope that we don't get just taken out of the game by this quiver of rustling leaves. Premeditate. Ay, ay, ay. Well, I've got 1 job on this ship. Here's 8. So we know there's a red 2 block in this hand for Alex because it was revealed from. Or wait, does Quiver shuffle if it misses? No,
No.
just reveals. And okay, so we know there's a red 2 block in Alex's hand, which is a disaster in this scenario because he certainly can't let all 8 of this damage through.
Why ever not? Mm. Okay, that's what we're gonna do.
The value load. I dig it. All right, so taking 3. Loaded up. Oh, we were very blue heavy. Now pre-med. Okay.
Yeah.
5. Hmm. I have an interesting decision. Yeah, Ray, I agree. This game is extremely close considering I just handed tempo back while taking 13 damage at some point. Um, so this is an interesting spot. So my hand here is red Deathly Delight, red Deathly Wail, yellow Pummel, and a Runeblade Incantation. With nothing going on runechant creation wise, landing the incantation here would be just absolutely enormous. But to play the incantation out, I have to decide that I am going to take a hit from the drill shot. Which the on hit doesn't matter, but it's still, I'd be taking 2 damage and giving up a ponder token. Actually, though, no, the ponder token matters substantially less now at this point because New Horizon is gone. So I think that settles it. So we're gonna block 3. Um, we'll take the 2. Put out the Deathly Delight. Play incantation. And no, there's no way that I voluntarily lose an extra point of life just to flail here. Because this still leaves open, I can now block with the entirety of my hand and still have a Deathly Delight on my turn. Um, yeah, that's a good point, Ray. Snaps being up made this a lot more free. Um,
I was comfortable blocking the New Horizon because I still had Snapdragons up and Trench. So even
that's
if I
true.
didn't
Could have
have
been a miss,
Snap,
but
I
it's
can
still just
just
a resource.
yeah.
Um, I got a funny story for you. It goes a little something like this. I think that's all she wrote, folks. If there is a single arrow left, I am dead.
Yeah.
That's gonna
Bolt
do it.
shot into a Falcon Wing.
Whew. Ding, ding, ding. Dang. That was a very interesting game. Uh, the the quad 2 block, quad non-attack action hands that happened twice uh, was
I wonder if
a little
it's right
painful.
there just to banish Rune Blood, and then swing Hardcast Deathly Delight at me. It'd be 1 rune chant, 5 damage. I'm at 3, and then
So you probably take the
like
rune chant.
yeah. So then you go up from, um, or you're at 3 too, right?
Yeah, it was 3 to 3 when I played
Well, you would have been
Incantation.
4 because you wouldn't have taken the blood debt from Deathly Delight, but and then so then you would have went from 4 to 5, and then assuming that I block out, then I can only swing with 2 cards. Well, the arsenal and 2 cards this turn. Which one of them has to be a pitch card? So it's only 2 arrows instead of 4.
Yeah, it's definitely better
Obviously, all
on that
contextual, but
exchange, but the problem is with Quillhand gone, it's so easy for me to just brick on a future attack that I feel like
yeah, but
getting
giving
Incantation.
me a 5 card hand when you're at 4 health though seems like you're putting yourself in a tough spot.
True, true. But let's see if that hand had like a pair of 3 blocks instead of mono twos. Uh, I guess the bolt and shot would still get over the top with the reload into another 0, but I think the the roughest part or a rough part is having a yellow and not a blue, so I couldn't threaten Scepter of Pain on that turn either. Kind of sucked. Um, but it
Sure.
was a good game. It
Yep.
was pretty close, and you know, 2 bricks pretty close is not a terrible place to be. Okay, well, we've got a plan. Game 2. I think we'll send with an action point. Hmm. So if I wanted to, I could play out this yellow Deathly Whale. Would push 1 and 5. Literally just pushing 1 free point of damage. I mean, every little bit helps. Can't think of a way that you'd be able to.
I mean, both of us starting at 39 rather
Right.
than just you,
Yeah,
and you're
and
gonna
there's
get
a
to
world
do that.
where you have no blocks or, like a Rain Razors that you don't want to lose, so you'll just actually take a little more than that, or just 2 blocks or something.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think with the reload off of a red, running out this Deathly Whale here is pretty free to just get a point across, maybe a couple points. Yeah, look at us go.
Okay. How lucky players feel all the time, huh?
Yep, something like that. Ah, classic, classic. My new favorite thing about this matchup is that I never have to worry about paying life for anything if I've been hit by a remorseless. Endless arrow for 6 with go again. Uh, the card in our arsenal, conventionally speaking, it's a very good card to have in arsenal. It's less good when your hand entirely consists of red cards. Um,
You're
and
saying it's pummel.
it is a pummel. And honestly, yeah, I think it's early, but this is a turn 1 Rain Razor's 3 of a kind turn. So I think we will go here. Let's deny the Endless Arrow hit. If there's a second one, so be it. We'll get our arsenal turned back into another card that hopefully can unlock our turn in some way, shape, or form. We take those. Alright, so this turn is going to hurt. Okay, so on our turn, we're going to banish this. We're absolutely going to make sure we can play this Roomlet Incantation out. And arsenaling this for next go around. Yeah, I think this is the turn where we're going to take some lumps. We take our point of pain. Take another for this Mob's guys. Deathly Delight gated with go again. If it hits, I'll make 3 rune chants. And this Deathly Delight is going to offset 2 of the damage we've taken on our own turn. Kind of crazy to think that if that blue had been in our hand from the get-go, we would have kept the pummel in arsenal.
Hmm.
The fact that you're thinking about this is interesting to me.
Well, the trouble is, if I let this hit, you just swing Deathly Wail.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. The fact that there's not just like
Nine more,
snap block is
9 more damage, and then you start your next turn with a bunch bunch of rune chants anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you're already gonna start your next turn with 2 rune chants.
Yeah, and I have the option to Scepter of Pain here too, instead to
Yeah.
get another.
Uh, so not the best hand I've ever seen.
Ooh, my opponent's inactive. Time to claim victory. Got him. That's how you win. That's how you win the Lexi matchup. You just make him think about things and claim the dub. All right, so we get 2 cards for our troubles. We will Scepter of Pain, which will almost certainly not get a card because we're already pretty set up as it is. Notably, weapon attacks do not fall under Remorseless's clause as they are not action cards. Oh, it does get a. Okay. Well, thank you, Scepter of Coronet Peak. Okay, so off turn to offset ours. Let's see here.
There's one thing I know about Vynnset. She breaks.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
I have watched over your shoulder and played against it enough now. It'll happen.
Hmm. So because you have double arsenal currently, the widespread destruction in my hand I care a bit less about because so Bolt and Shot is a good 0 for 4 to end on. Obviously it goes into overdrive with another copy of Rain Razors. But the fact that you get to choose which card is least impactful makes me want to prioritize keeping my setup with multiple Deathly Whales. Um, let's see. I'm thinking about second guessing myself here too. When I had Yellow Mauve, or I guess when the other resource from this widespread isn't really going to matter. If I do the same sequence with widespread destruction on deck instead of Deathly Whale, I could. It'd still be 8. That's still a 3-card block from you to not let me immediately destruction. And even if you do give it 3 cards, I could break the chain, Quill Hand, and destruction anyways, and get another card. Um, but that's okay. We made our bed. We're gonna lie in it. Carrying over Rune Chant setup will always have fantastic value from our seat. Two-card block. Okay. So here we'll break the chain. And honestly, I would not be surprised if the follow up being Deathly Wail rather than Destruction plays a part in you taking that 2 extra damage. Am I on a reasonably correct track with that thought?
I mean, this is the gigantic turn, so I'm just trying to prevent as much damage as I can, but still pressure quite a bit back, knowing that there's no way that I can stop all the rune chance and such.
And we cleared the blood debt, which is great. Alright, 7, go again. I think we might have a bit of an in-between turn here. Um, don't really care. Well, don't care about the on-hit at all here, because although I guess if you have a 1 cost arrow in hand, you could trench trench the arsenal away, load the arrow, and fire a 5 power arrow on the heels of this, which
Sneaky,
is a pretty
sneaky.
cool thing. Lexi, as frustrating as it can be to play against her sometimes, she is very cool. I'm trying to
Playing
think.
like so long, I'm just sad that people hate her now. Hate playing against her.
I think that's overblown a little bit, but
Probably.
yeah, it's true. It's probably people hate playing
When you're
against
at,
Lexi at armories with like
yeah.
more
Well, when you're
casual
at
stuff.
tournaments and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got Lexi," it's like that's never a phrase you want to hear.
Yeah,
Nobody's going around saying I got Vynnsetted.
I don't know. A few people at Nats probably did say that. Okay. Uh, I think this like this blocking the full 7 there. I feel like is would be me playing scared. And then if you have, if your follow up is like Codex into hamstring shot or something, like that's a bigger problem. And I guess there's the ponder token here, but I'm already almost certainly not blocking out your whole turn anyways. I think we'll take the 7 and see what follows.
I would have rather you blocked there.
That means we chose correctly, chat. We chose correctly. Oof. That's almost as annoying as oh man.
Yeah, I wanted you to block it and be like, all right, these are the cards I'll play with, and then get a frostbite and have to discard a card
And do
and destroy
nothing
your
on my
whole
turn.
turn. But now you get the info.
uh, uh, yes, I will pay 1. I'll pay that 1. Oh, man. Well, with no follow up now, I wish I had pitched a different card. I expected I expected Codex or something else too. That's okay though. We can work with this. So we will.
Like play Arclight Sentinel in response.
Please God, no. Yeah, damn. That was me being so sure that you were going to follow up with something, choosing to pitch my only non-attack action uh,
Ah,
is a huge punt now. Because if I had kept the red envelop instead, I could have gotten rid of. I could have pitched Deathly Delight in its place, and I could have on this turn we could have gone. Oh no, no, we can't. That I guess this turn would have just been generically stronger. Instead, we're going to have a mediocre arsenal instead of a, you know, 4 extra damage and carrying over Deathly Whale setup. But I guess I'm trying to think what situations. If it was a codex to follow up, I would have lost another card from this hand. So I either don't block or double block and don't attack you at all. It's tough. I think there's just a couple different ways that I think I could. I feel like I could have been punished as well for getting rid of the envelop, but um, that's okay. We'll get through this together. This incantation is ticking down, so we're going to pitch delight, threaten 8, presumably carry at least one rune chant over from this, or I guess no, all but guaranteed carry one over. And arsenaling this card is not ideal, but also is fine. I'm going to be thinking about that envelop play for a while.
or I wish I had lightning surges right about now.
Yes, lightning surge, your favorite favorite codex target.
Yep. Also don't have hamstring shot yet.
Yeah, thinking it through again, I think getting rid of the envelop uh, ends up being wrong because basically, like I keep a functionally worse like 2 extra cards if I just have those cards versus if I pitch the Deathly Delight to the Winter's Bite instead. Like I'm opting to take an extra damage if you do throw another arrow out, but at the same time, uh, it's not I don't know, the floor of that, I don't know, the juice would be worth the squeeze in that regard. All right, so we've got two coming across. Another searing shot sitting right there. Um, that sure is a legal hand of cards that you're allowed to throw at me.
Yeah, here it is.
We will go ahead and get 2 defense out of our second point of Carapace by blocking Searing Shot. This is a little sucky because now we're out of incantation, but we have made it 5 turns into the game without needing Quill Hand, which is wonderful. Codex on the back end. Alright, so what's my turn going to be? I'm only going to have 1 rune chant to begin with. If I plan on blocking with this, banish here. Yeah, okay. Well, at the very least, this initial 4 we're taking. We'll see what the follow-up is.
Found my hamstring shot.
Yep, this one is a problem. Okay, so obviously we need to not be hamstrung. The good news is you can't recur this one with the Codex.
Yes, I can. Playing the Codex would break the chain. Also, I blocked with a hamstring shot last turn.
No, I
But I
meant
don't have a
you don't
resource
have
to
the
play it.
resource. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I meant. Um, hmm. If I block 5 on 5 and then see what you do. Nope. Sorry. Stinking frailty, man. shot. Well, this isn't doing anything for us. Why couldn't that hamstring shot have been remorseless? That would have been so much better. So this is the predecessor to Alarm, and a thing that can lead to a bunch of defense on this turn. Or actually, really, it's two cards of defense and a Hornet's Sting. So if Alex has a blue in this hand, I would not be surprised if this gets two cards on Hornet Sting block, because now we're vulnerable with our lack of setup.
Ooh.
Well, no blue. We take a hit. Actually, you don't want to do that. You don't want to Hornet Sting me here. You'd rather take an extra point. You're going to give me another rune chant. I guess maybe it
Mm.
doesn't matter if you. Eh, let's see. I guess
It's
two's not
one
safe
now or
though.
one later.
Fair.
I get the damage in though, because I'm gonna try to threaten lethal on this turn.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we got our chance. No blood debt. Let's see what happens. Codex of, oh no, I'm in danger. Whew. Let's see. We've seen one Rain Razors this game. No use playing around it ahead of time. So we'll block 3. That's a lot of damage, as the kids would say. And now we will see again why Lexi is so absurdly good. Because this Codex is just another 0 for 5. Which means we will have no offense on our turn. That's brutal. Hmm. Yeah, I think I should have to pass. I can't, like, flailing here is not scary enough. Doesn't feel great to be on hopes and dreams into Lexi, but that's where we are. I guess with the life totals getting so low and the fact that I'm probably not keeping larger hands, um, putting the creepers in front of drill shot sort of it plays around the same stuff. It gives I end up with an extra point of health either way you slice it, and then could have potentially uh, taken that last hit. Coming in for 2. And there's another 2 on the back end. So this gets a card no matter what. That drill shot, in theory, is a hit I can take. Uh, so obviously have to block this. And worst case, I can use this 2 block on the final drill shot if I have to. So let's do that. Okay, this is on the list of things that we cannot take the hit from. uh, so that's going out no matter what. And then the remaining conundrum is, do I want to threaten 1 more point of damage on this turn, or threaten 1 less point of damage but threaten setup? I think the Deathly Whale is more likely to get more cards. The decision to get rid of the envelop is haunting me still. I'm going to end the game with the same card in Arsenal that's been there since that turn, and it will have done absolutely nothing for me in a game that is currently 3-3. And I could have threatened an extra 4 points of damage in this game. Ah, what an asshole. Cool. Classic Lexi.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how hard do we YOLO?
Uh, that's not a question that I really can answer, I don't think. I don't know what we're YOLO. Man, that Arctic incarceration kept me from playing offense and dealt me a damage. How rude.
Oh yeah, I forgot because you're forced to banish.
Yep.
IP3, what's it like?
It's fine. This is how Bolton plays, right?
Yeah, true.
Hornet Sting has given me a rune chant that I have yet to use, so far no harm done. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Now we just hope I draw arrows.
Wow. Oh no. Oh, well, now this blue drill shot sure looks like a 0 for 6. Mm. I think we're in trouble. Oh no! God damn, just that kills me. Well, it took 3 rain razors and 2 three of a kinds. Oh, and you can +1 it. Rude. Yeah, the getting rid of that envelop. Uh, I don't know. It doesn't magically lock up this game, but I think there's a much higher chance that I win if I don't
Makes me
give
do
away
other
that.
things, right? Because that would have, I mean,
So it would
yeah.
have been. So I never had another chance to Arsenal after that card. It was a Dread Triptych, is what I put in Arsenal.
Ah,
Um, and so never had a chance to play it, and it literally, it's basically me not having an Arsenal for one of those turns for an extra 4 points of damage, but also I take one more, but it also um, gives me the rune chant set up too. Um, so yeah, that was a punt. The extra risked damage taken was not worth how much worse the alternative was. Um, should have thought through that one more, but pretty close. 3-3 before things ground down. Um, cool. You want one more?
sure. I'll do another one. I do need to go to the restroom and put the kid to bed. So if you give me like
Okay.
5, 10
Yeah,
minutes.
we'll
Yeah.
we'll be right back. We'll take a quick bio break and sit tight, and we'll be back. And we are back. So uh, we're gonna try this matchup one more time, and kind of just for science, we're gonna switch it up and gonna have Lexi go first. My current way of thinking is that Lexi might actually want to go first in this matchup because Vynnset struggles to do something particularly aggressive on turn zero, or can, without the rune chant set up, and with losing a card to her ability, it's tough to explode out of the gates like that. Um, so we're gonna see how that feels. Because we aren't gonna get a free turn to banish an extra card. When we're going second, we want Art of War over Revel in Runeblood, because we're less likely to be carrying over extra uh, rune gates. And we still want all of the pummels. And additionally, we'll bring in these Deathly Delights, Funeral Moon, and we will shave a Dread Triptych. Well, Falcon Wing got the secret sauce that makes the 6-card hand pretty free.
Yep.
Um, and our first turn is better than what a lot of them can look like. We're actually going to lob in a bit of damage. We've got our incantation going, which is huge. I was about to say I've never taken a 3 faster in my life, and then immediately Rain
Never
Razors.
taken a 5 faster in your life.
Yeah. Ugh. Hmm. You've presented 11 damage, all with go against, threatening a reload, and have spent no resources. Gross.
And one card out of my hand.
Yeah.
3.
Uh, we're gonna let this go. Let's see what. Oh boy.
Can't imagine a better turn.
Casual 25. Um,
Don't you love it when you got one card named Rain Razors and it's worth 8 value?
it is pretty good.
5 breakpoints are annoying, but you know what's even more annoying? 7s. How many Lexis did you end up playing in Nats?
2. And one of them, the day 1 match I won at 10 life, and the day 2 match I should have won at about 8. But my
Oh yeah, you told me
my
about
my
that.
banishing the wrong card, keeping me from pummeling for lethal. Uh, Tragic setback. Well, I can't just take 14.
It's remorseless. It's your favorite one to eat.
You're You are right about that. Um, oh, this sucks. This is really rough. Uh, so we're gonna take damage no matter what. Golly.
If this was happening at a tournament, you'd walk away after this game and be like, "Yeah, I got Lexi," and that's why I didn't play Lexi at Nats.
You're not wrong. You are
I'm just
not wrong.
unwilling to be that experience for people. Also, I don't want to play the mirror.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just throw my mirror, however, not even flesh and blood.
It's a completely different game.
Yeah.
Uh, Casual 7. This one we will sheepishly take.
Sounds good to me.
So my card in hand is Shadow Puppetry. So there's a super greedy line where I pop Quill Hand, play Shadow Puppetry, Deathly Wail for 4 rune chance, 5 physical with Go again, threatening a puppetry trigger, and then break the chain and follow up with a Widespread Ruin, which will banish a card no matter what because I'm taking damage this turn. Uh, but I think that's just too. I think that's too greedy. And I don't even really care to flail this turn since I have an incantation. So I think I'm actually just gonna ruin Arsenal the Shadow Puppetry. Cross my fingers, hope that I don't banish anything with Blood Debt. And move on to the next turn. Because with a Shadow Puppetry in Arsenal and a Deathly Wail standing by with Quill Hand and an Incantation running, we're all but guaranteed able to do a double gate turn next turn. And also arsenaling this saves us an extra point of damage from the Remorseless as well. It's also possible that, given that this is the line that have ended up taking, uh, it's possible that I should have blocked with the blue Deathly Wail and uh, banished one of the other cards I blocked with to not carry over Blood Debt. If Ruin hits a Blood Debt card, I will especially feel that way. But it's also possible that we whiff, and having an extra card for next turn is just better, even for the cost of a life. to see that.
Michael Hamilton, I see why you didn't win Worlds. Deck's garbage.
uh,
Kidding.
oh no. Well, the bright side, I have 2 cards in Banish that I can play, which goes really well with my hand filled with no attacks.
Oh, you played Vynnset, right?
Oh yeah, baby, this is why.
Shadow Bolton. More intricacies.
Yeah. Uh, Banish and Art of War. Oh, I was like, wait, I should have 2, and then I realized that the game was waiting for me. Hmm. This is a super weird turn cycle.
Wait, did you just banish an Art of War?
I did to my Vynnset ability because I had no attacks.
Interesting.
I also
I was
have
playing,
both Art of Wars in my hand at the same time.
playing somebody at Armory, playing your list on Monday, and they played 2 Art of Wars in the game, and both times tried to pitch or like banish pummel to draw 2. I was like, no,
Oh
it has to be an attack.
man, Art of War would be so much better if it could just be anything. It'd be incredible.
And then like 2 turns later, they tried to do the same thing. I was like, it still doesn't work. And I was playing Prism and got to they played a Rune Blood incantation, and turn they got their first trigger, I got to play ALS on it, and then War Tune on my turn, and then the next turn I drew another ALS and Mirage Metamorph. Got to do the same thing. It was filthy.
That's real gross. If I pay the life here, this is such a this is such a weird hand. It's so close to doing a lot of things incredibly well, but it's going to struggle to put out just a basic amount of offense. I think we'll just pay now. Actually, immediately rethought my decision. And I'm going to not pay. There's so many ways that I could play this out. Um, but none of them are spectacular. But I think what I'm going to do is this. Oh no, I do need to pay here because when I break the chain for the second gate, I need to have already paid. All right, we got there. Apologies for the tank.
Let's go again. Definitely go late after that. Like that, life totals are back to normal.
Back to normal, but you've got a 5 card hand. Winter's Bite on top. Endless Arrow for 7. Goes back to hand and ponder. Hmm.
Expecting that.
Oof. Okay. So you're already going to have an arsenal anyways. With the ponder. Um, so I have to do this. This is a weird hand, but we'll see if I can make it worth it. I feel like there's a pretty decent chance that I can. Conversely, if I give up one card and some equipment blocks, I stay at 10. I still threaten a good amount of damage. Hmm. And if I'm not going to use my arsenal for this turn, I should just cycle it out. Which actually lets me, if I cycle it out, then whatever I get can pitch for that. Oh man, this deck is a hoot and a half.
Which deck?
Uh, Mine. There's just, so you know I have the Art of War in Arsenal, and I could go for a play where I like double gate and potentially just attack 3 times, but that means I'm taking this endless arrow hit minus whatever equipment I use on it. But if I just block, so if I put Crown of Providence and cycle out the Art of War, then I may as well go up this high and go to 8. Man, this being a Rain Razor's turn is really punishing.
Only across 2 arrows. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's only a 0 for 4.
Oh, yellow 0 for 4. Doesn't block though, so
Clearly, card sucks.
once again, bring back bracers.
And this is why they won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait.
Choose wisely. Or don't.
Wait.
Wait, what?
There should be a yellow Winter Spite because I revealed it off Hornet Sting, but it's
Uh,
not.
Otherwise, put it on the bottom of your deck.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about Quiver. That just leaves it there. You right. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Crisis averted. Um, well, let's banish our rune gate. Let's get our rune chant. Let's re-incantation this game. Touche, salesman. Trench of Sucking Treasure. You're so good. So weirdly good. It's a biggin.
Too bad you're at 7.
Shh. Oh, come on.
Sorry.
Oh.
0 for 4. We'll go again. On hit, take a damage.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a Bolton shot. Okay.
An interesting point of order. Just make you discard now. Bolt shot already has go again.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you're going to get to put a second card in. That is real gross.
Be down and dirty just to block 2 more.
That would be good here. That would be better than any of my current options. What arrow did you get back? Wait, am I just dead? Why am I even thinking that hard about this? You're gonna shoot me for
Shooting
5
me
and
for
5.
I
I
guess
am
you could block.
nearly dead. But for a turn from now, when I'm not dead, we'll just go destruction. We'll discard that.
Well, that was the problem all along.
You're not wrong. God, I really should have to take 5. You know, I had been planning on doing a set of this and also a set of Dromai afterwards, but I don't know if we're going to get to Dromai today.
Um, if I do that, you just die. So we'll do it.
Oh, come on. Boo.
Okay. Do the best aggro deck. Also makes you discard cards.
Can we talk about how Winter's Bite just lets you do what Reiner does, just better?
Um,
Come on. Patented 3 of a kind whiff moment. Come on. Right here. Right here.
Negative Ghost Rider.
I'm not getting my wish, which means we are dead. The opening 25 damage salvo was rough. Well, that's all she wrote.
Oh my goodness. 14.8 value. Yowza.
It's all rain razors.
Yeah, honestly.
That's wild. Cool. Well, so I don't think we're gonna do a full set with Dromai tonight. So if you're up for doing another one of this matchup, I'm down.
Sure. I can do one more.
Cool. Uh, let's full send it back. For a stream where I'm like, look, I swear Vynnset can hang. This set hasn't looked great, but the first one,
I mean, I think
two
you're in all
bricks.
these games except for this one.
Yeah, and
But
and this one
this one started with a
started in the hole.
with an 8 value.
Yeah, 8 value rain razors, 25 damage turn. And then the second rain razors came at the moment where I'm like, okay, let me just face tank a little bit and I'll be all right. Because I had the Art of War, I had the Envelop, I was gonna elite like attack minimum of, well, even if one of the attacks was flail, was gonna try and attack 3 times, and then that damn Envelop. What was I doing? Oh, this guy.
Blame Michael. It's not my fault. I cut this card from my deck. The recovery.
Yeah, got there. But now I have no setup. So I'm at the mercy of this next hand to not be Garbo.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. There's a lot of damage though.
Yeah, under frostbites with no blues in hand, this is a pretty great turn.
I mean, I guess exactly on rate, full card 12.
Only 11.
How would you like a frostbite?
I would not. Thank you very much.
How would you like to discard or pay a resource? We'll say Michael Hamilton and I are on the same page of Yellow Winter's Bite. Fear my 2, maybe 3. Fell right into my trap.
I don't know if I care about this. Hmm. I think we've got an 11-point life lead. And so at this point, playing towards a longer game is a little bit more favorable to us than usual. Uh, let's see. So the real question is, so my last card is a Deathly Whale, which obviously I'm not throwing at you this turn, particularly with the Frostbite. But if I take the full 5, it's really like instead of blocking 3, taking 2, I'm taking 4 extra damage to get a Deathly Whale and Banish. And that's probably just too much to justify when it's not like a guarantee that I'll even be able to get it fired off the next turn. Um,
Yeah, because you're really taking 6 minimum. Because it'll be the 5 and then the blood debt.
right, 5 and Blood Debt or
2.
2 and no Blood Debt. So I think we just accept that we're going to have a weirdly slow start this game. No resources, we pass. Stop.
Thoughts? Concerns?
Just getting to Arsenal of Winter Spite every turn. It's so bad for me.
I think I'm gonna do that, that, that. Okay. So we're gonna do this. Pitch that.
Did you mean to pass?
Yep.
Well, now I'm a little scared.
I mean, I can. Basically, I could shoot Falcon Wing or Infecting Shot. That's like, and I had the Codex that I pitched, like this other Arsenal card. It's like there's no real good, good clean line, so I might as well tax you with Frostbite, send 4, and set up for a bigger turn this turn. The doctor is headed out, by the way.
See you later, Dr. Doak. Catch you next time. Um, so if I want to do anything this turn, we're popping Quill Hand, which blows.
Could also cost 1.
Right. Well, that's fine because even doing my gate was going to cost 1 anyways. So, or like
True.
whatever I'm doing costs 1. Uh, is not what I love doing on this turn, but it is something.
Ooh, widespread. Yucky.
Paying a life here because if I don't, and you decide that if you have like a three of a kind in arsenal, you can use three cards in Hornet Sting to stop my offense and save the card. This way, I'm guaranteed to take one of the cards out of your arsenal for the cost of one life, and it leaves me the option to just Scepter of Pain afterwards too. So
Bad. This is gonna be a good turn, Kevin.
no, I haven't. This is my first turn that looks anything like a real turn this game. I've started every turn this game with a frostbite. Yeah, three frostbites into full block.
Pretty good fish.
Yeah. Now, if you're losing the Rain Razors, though, the rest of your hand has to be fairly arrow light, I assume.
Well, the trouble is, if I keep Rain Rangers and lose Infecting Shot, then I can only go 2 arrows wide, so Rainer is only worth 4. Versus keeping the Infecting Shot is worth like a 1 for 5, maybe 7.
Fair, fair.
So it's just the math. But it'd be a lot better if I had all the cards.
Oh God, I am seeing that. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, real glad this did start off with Rain Razors into Heatseeker for 10. Alright, so my turn. If I banish this Phantom Wraith, that puts me up to 2 rune chance. Uh, so this is 8, then that'll be 5, but it's a 5 that is actually secretly 7. So 15. This also just gives you 2 cards if it hits. God, what a ridiculous deck. All your cards say draw a card. Um,
And we didn't even have time to play against Jeremiah yet.
yeah, for real. We eat the 8. 5 more comes in.
The icing on these, like Lexi game cake, would be Heatseeker hits a 3 of a kind and Ponder hits a Ray Tracers.
Stop it. Don't put that out into the universe. Don't you do it. Now it's gonna happen. Boo. Um, I think my hand is just substantially scarier if I take a little bit more here. You're already gonna have your cards.
Double gate incoming.
Double gate incoming. Red infecting shot. Wraith is the banish. Alright, here's 13 with go again. Shadow stuff if it hits. Well, 3 and 10 with go again, I guess.
Oh. You paid for Vynnset. Never mind. There's no way I'm blocking Rain Chance.
Ooh, actually, hang on. I'm gonna rework this slightly, right? Because I'm gonna end up with these resources floating, no matter what. And I think this turn, I think it's worth. Uh, sorry, I'm just gonna roll back to the start of turn, just because it's easier. So still banish the wraith. We're going to envelop, pitching putrid, paying a life. Because this is gonna let me
Oh yeah,
flail
because
this
you're
turn
gonna do
too.
it. Yeah.
And it probably just gets the sting, but I think that's okay.
Nine. Go to 9. And then you come in for 8 more.
Oh yeah.
We came here to draw 3 of a kind and Rain Razors. And I'm all out of those cards.
I've already paid life, so we will not pay life again. Break the chain, get our 2 rune chants from Deathly Whale. Phantom Wraith coming in for another total of 9 with go again. Conveniently lethal.
I had to refresh, so you might have to as well.
Oh, okay. There we go. Cool.
Evan, go again. Wait, that doesn't work like wanted it to. Uh,
Whew, that's a question. Uh, and we'll come in with the flail. Makes sense. Death touch on top. Distinctly not an arrow, despite being an attack. Oh, so now death touch is on bottom, too. Since
yeah.
that didn't go. Alright. Blood Rot Pox puts me to 15.
If there was a game for the set to win, it's this one.
You would think. You would think.
Down to 3.
So let's see. If I cash in my equipment here, I haven't pitched anything yet this turn. Oh wait, right. Yeah, sorry. I'm just not even thinking. So Snapdragon Scalers are getting used here for sure. There's a world where this is a 4 arrow turn. You blocked with that red searing shot?
Yep.
Okay. So that's a lot of reds so far. So there's probably so you're either on like all red zero cost arrows or hmm, this is a weird spot. I wonder if it's right for me to like I've got the life lead again. If I just try and weather the storm. But the problem is the first block I make, so I only have one gate. It's also my only blue. It's also my only 3 block in this hand. And so it's like the decision's front loaded if I want to stop the rest of this. Although I guess
Like, this is
if I
coming in
want
for
to
5,
later,
but you know infecting shot's coming in for 5, maybe 7.
right?
So,
So if we go fishing, and by go fishing I mean take this first hit, and we'll see what comes next. Makes sense. Another infecting shot. Oh dear. Okay, well. Okay. That's alright. Okay. Give up the whole hand. Get to use our creepers block. we flail. This is Vynnset is like the opposite of Icelander. Vynnset really, really wants a comfortable 5 to 6 point life lead before you get to the late stages of the game. Getting the trench. Okay, well that is terrifying, but also means that Arcane is now unblockable. But I know that Alex knows that, so I'm guessing we've got a real gross hand ahead. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Both teams played hard. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh. Alright, well, at least we know there's no point in trying to keep any amount of this hand. And there's no Snapdragon Scalers, so we are firmly in weather the literal storm as we are Arctic incarcerated. Okay, 6 go again. You have 1 reload left. But Rain Razor's a +2 to whatever else. So, in all likelihood, it can be a 7 on the follow up. But this has no on hit.
Forced Vanish does a frostbite.
Hamstring shot debuff, frostbite, doesn't matter anyways. So we'll just save the equipment. This is a super weird last game. The problem is this Arctic incarceration exists. Come on.
I mean, it's not that bad because I'm playing it on a full hand. It's not great.
Yeah, but you still have quiver.
That's true.
This game is showcasing why the best go wide aggro deck shouldn't also have access to ample quantities of frostbites and forced discard. Okay,
Like
hamstring.
it's like against Bravo when you know it's a pummel. It's like the moment you're like, all right, I'm not gonna block here to like actually threaten me back. I'm just gonna play Arctic Incarceration.
Yeah,
And now it's been 2 turns of that to the point where I've leaked damage, and now you kind of just have to block everything.
that pummel sure would have been a cool card for closing out this game.
So that one. Okay.
Hmm. What? Did you just... wow. Uh, so I may as well do that. Come on, Vynnset. Come on.
Little engine that could. I
The
think
little
I can.
engine that
Think
really
I
wants
can.
to. Ooh, one of these attacks should be Sleep Dart, so I can partially block it and then not banish a card and then just Scepter of Pain you. How about that? That sounds good.
Michael Hamilton does not have Sleep Dart in his deck.
Ah,
So
what's he doing? Ah, all right. The tricks are spent. There's only one more three of a kind in the deck. Oh, boo. Have you really only seen one Rain Razors in this game? I have PTSD
uh,
from the last one.
I've seen two. I played one and you banished one off widespread. What are the odds they're together, though, is the real question.
Mm-hmm.
No codexes, though. Oh.
That's true. You pitched two of them very early. No! Oh, come on! This is so brutal. Damn. The last card in my hand is the Art of War. I,
Mm,
yeah,
yep.
that'll do it. Um, yeah, you're right. I could have waited on the Funeral Moon. I guess it would have. Well, so I didn't have any frostbites, but that the drill shot didn't have go again. So I would take one, and then on my turn, instead of throwing the Funeral Moon chant, I banish it, still flail, Funeral Moon afterwards. Yeah, no, that's definitely would have been a better line. And actually, it could have saved me on this turn too, because if I had a rune chant right now, so the reason I didn't Art of War from the get go
Well, if
is
you have a rune chant, I'm knowing it. I'm at 2. Instead of sending this for 6, I send it for 5. Go again, and then Arctic to make sure that you can't actually swing back at me.
right, but then if I had the chant, I would have yeah. So I'd have a chant right now would be the only difference. But if I had one, I would have been so I had three gates on this turn, one of which was a blue and the Art of War, and I would have been if I had a rune chant, I'd be a lot more incentivized to play the Art of War, banish, draw two, and buff defenses. But then that still only leaves me with three cards, but they're four blocks instead. So I make the same series of blocks. We end up, I would have blocked one more on the Bolton shot. So I would have covered the Bolton shot up with a four, blocked four on a five with Remorseless, and then you Arctic me. And nope, yeah, still the face up Arctic was just it was going to bail you out of whichever situation, right? Because if I Art of Ward to put something in banish,
And then even if you can pay through the frostbites, like the remorseless will deal 1 damage to you, and then if you flail, it'll also deal 1 damage to you.
well, so I think I would have ended up with no turn, one card in Blood Debt, nothing to banish on my turn, so I still just have one rune chant, and the Blood Debt puts me to one, which turns off Flail as an avenue for sending my rune chants.
Hmm.
Yeah, rough. Though
And then
you're
I need
definitely
to make
right
sure that
though,
I
Jean Philippe. The Funeral Moon play it would have been better had I ordered it the way you described. I think I just got paranoid, like the face up Arctic incarceration was just like in the forefront of my mind, but you had no way to deliver those frostbites at that point in the turn. Um, and obviously, so the Art of War is the real devastating part of this turn. But if if I do the correct play that Jean Philippe was describing, um, you know, I have an out to not die, which is not have an Art of War in specifically this hand, and then we go around one more time, and I just need to any hand that lets me keep a gate, a two gate, is just the win at that point. But couldn't quite get there. Interesting set of games. Oh, sorry, I am dead. Uh, not the not the showcase of this matchup that I had hoped for, but so the first game was very close. Had a solid advantage, and then when it was time to put the foot on the gas, we drew quad non-attacks, quad two blocks into a Rain Razor's Endless Arrow turn, I believe. So that was just a rough brick, but we're not playing this deck because it's consistent. We're playing it because it's powerful. Um, Second game, I'm reasonably convinced that if I if I don't get rid of the envelop to the Winter's Bite, which I thought of another reason why that was just objectively wrong, is if you
So
just
we're
have
at
another
like
Winter's
5 reasons why that was wrong.
yeah, there's so many ways that I don't know how I got to that conclusion in the moment. Well, okay, that's not true. I was assuming that I was just gonna have to block with two more cards, and so I kept some three blocks. Uh, but when you just did nothing, it stranded a crappy card in my arsenal, didn't let me use all those resources, and if I had, you know, conceded one extra point of damage for the sake of keeping a much stronger three card hand, I would have pushed at least four more damage and carried over Rune Chant. So like I lost out on 5 points of value because I put that wrong card on bottom. Um,
People who play Lexi underestimate the power of taking a setup turn.
yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I feel like you
I feel like
took
they
more
just
off
hear that
turns
it's
against me than uh, than any of my opponents at Nats. Um, and clearly it paid off with some pretty filthy turns.
yeah.
Um,
Like I got punished twice between all these games with widespread destruction. But
mhm.
I mean the turns that didn't happen across 4 games, the amount of turns that it was like, all right, I'm gonna take a setup turn, and you went, oh, my hand is bad, like pass, or like rune gate for 6, no on hit, pass was. I feel like people hear like, oh, Alexi's the best aggro deck, and think you just like play out your cards, but I definitely think it's more beneficial to have super powerful turns that people complain about than
Yeah,
four go again into four go again pass.
yeah, firmly agree with you on that point. Um, and yeah, game three was the classic got Lexied. The
Yeah.
opening salvo 25 damage with a couple on hits, right? Like I think it was like a heat seeker and something
Well,
else.
it was Falcon Wing, Bolt and Shot, both from Arsenal from the turn before,
Mm-hmm.
and then uh, Remorseless Heat Seeker, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
Bolt and Shot hit, so I was able to reload, and then this was all on Rain Razor's turn, so it was that
yeah. Pretty
5,
pretty filthy.
11, 26.
Yeah, I wonder what that game looks like if I am just less married to my hand on that turn cycle, and I'm just like, oh, it's a Rain Razors, cool. Let's just ship it and weather the storm of this particular power card and just go back to it. Obviously, there's no way to know, but uh, my attempt at a comeback was not worth that beat down that I took early there. Um, yeah, grasp is definitely something that I've thought about in this matchup, and it's something I've been thinking about more overall. Is the Vexing Quillhand Ripcord is great in really aggressive matchups, and you know I don't know that I've gone a game into Lexi without utilizing it to pretty good effect. But this game went to turn 8, and so that's enough time that I could have had two resources from Tunic along the way. And even just in this game, I cast one, like at least two envelops and an incantation somewhere along the way. So if I exchange, you know, two more cards worth of defense in this game and get two Tunic resources to fulfill the same sort of turns, plus one total extra point of armor block from the Tunic if I replace Quillhand with um, Grasp, that could definitely I could definitely see it being better. Um, on the flip side, I had a very slow start that had a lot of frostbites and discard, and we didn't see anything to get rune chance going early. So to threaten anything into your first 6 card hand, I had to pop Quill Hand to widespread destruction you, and I can't do that with Grasp. It just is not a line available to me. But it's something I definitely plan on exploring, um, and I think could prove to be the right option in the long run, even though the safety net of Quillhand feels bad to give up. But uh, but yeah, we'll see. You know, 0-4 into Lexi on the night, not ideal. But I think we were firmly in 3 of the 4 games, and you know,
Talking a big game. How you got game to Lexi.
I did. You know, it. Maybe you're
You
just better
just
than
never
all the
played
other
against a
Lexis I've
pilot like
played.
this. Never played against somebody like me.
That's it.
It's different.
Built different. 25 damage, 0 for 8 Rain Razors. Value. Um, cool. Well, thanks for the games, Alex. Sorry, stream. We were not able to convert any of these games into a win, which pretty much undermined my own point in the making of this video. But uh, again, we were in just about every game aside from the Uber high roll, and it happens. Lexi's the best deck for a reason. Uh, but these games can be very close and a blast to play. So, uh, as always, thanks for hanging out here at the Demonastery Dojo. Thanks, Alex, for jamming some games with me tonight. I should be back. I know it was Thursday this week. I should be back to Tuesday next week. I'll be playing some more. Maybe we'll switch things up and be trying out Tunic and Grasp to see how that feels. Um, but yeah, until then, stay cool, and I'll see you around the Demonastery Dojo.